guess who's coming back to TV? Don Lemon.
What a shock.
If you or I had said what he said, let's take a listen again. We'll remind people just a week ago.
This whole talk about age makes me uncomfortable. I think it's the wrong road to go down. She says people, politicians or something are not in their prime. Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry. When a woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s.
What are you talking? Wait.
That's not according to me.
Prime for what?
It depends. I mean, it's just like prime. If you look it up, if you Google when is a woman in her prime, it'll say 20s, 30s, and 40s. So I think she has to be careful about saying that politicians aren't in their prime.
You need to qualify. Are you talking about prime for childbearing, or are you talking about prime for being president?
What the facts are. Google it. Everybody at home. When is a woman in her prime? It says 20s, 30s, and 40s. And I'm just saying Nikki Haley should be careful about saying that politicians are not in their prime. And they need to be in their prime when they serve, because she wouldn't be in her prime according to
Google
or whatever it is.
And
so he says that
but he's still there.
He's off
now.
The
He's
air
coming back tomorrow
for a couple days.
They gave him a special sensitivity training.
He's going to sensitivity training. That's what.
But just Google it.
There's something going on there. Like we said, what does he have on? Even the new guys who own CNN.
I don't understand. What I don't understand.
He's got
about
some hold on them.
I don't understand this. I'm not into cancel culture. We don't like that.
No.
But listen, if somebody on our broadcast made those statements, you know what we would do? Terminate them. They wouldn't be on the air. Here, he goes away for 4 days.
He doubled and tripled down on that statement, too. He didn't back off. I just said something. Just came out wrong.
He came out and issued an apology to the staff of CNN.
Never apologized to Nikki Haley.
Never apologized to Nikki Haley. And by the way, Nikki Haley, we know Nikki Haley. She's a very smart woman. She was a very good UN ambassador.
There's no Google about that. He was just making that up.
You know what I think he conflated? Childbearing. I think what Poppy Harlow said was right.
I don't even know that, because he said forward. I mean, you get into all of that. That has nothing to do with being a political leader. And what she was talking about is these 75-year-olds running the country. Maybe that's where we need to draw some lines. That's all she said.
But here's the thing you have to understand. Why is it that he's still on CNN? Because what I don't understand in all of this
for ratings.
His ratings are
unless they think this is going to be a ratings boost, because we're talking about Don Lemon, but I don't think it will. It might for a day people do it, but those ratings were in the below 100,000.
Below 100,000 in their demo, which is their 25 to 35, was like 28,000, 25,000. So nobody was
show
watching
from launch. He was already canceled from primetime for bad behavior.
It was promoted. Personal experience. I did hundreds of interviews during those days of representing the former president, and they were contentious. Some of them were very contentious. You'd be getting to real discussions. I did MSNBC. Ari Mulber, I had a good relationship with him. We disagreed. We fought it out on air. Chris Cuomo at CNN, and I did Anderson. I did them all. And then the only one that personalized an attack in that 4 years of litigation of representation was one guy, Don Lemon, who said something to the effect of having me on. I was on with Chris, and they were doing the handoff between Chris Cuomo and Don Lemon. He said some really nasty, personal, attacking statement, and Chris Cuomo basically said, "You know what? If I needed a lawyer, I'd hire Jay Sekulow." So, this is the reality of what it is, but he's back. I'm just saying, media commentary is this. You're very careful where you get your news. You're very careful where you get your information. You should be.
Yep.
Because you don't know what these other agendas are. You just don't know.
No, there's something bizarre going on.
Something strange.
I mean, because it was bought by a new company who could have easily cleaned house. Yeah, and this was, firing for cause.
Well, here's what the Chris Lick said, who's the head of it now. I sat down with Don and had a frank and meaningful conversation. He has agreed to participate in formal training, as well as continuing to listen and learn. We take this situation seriously, which obviously they don't.
No.
It's important to me that CNN balances accountability with fostering a culture in which people can own, learn, and grow from their mistakes. To that end, Don will return to CNN this morning on Wednesday. And do we have any idea how that's going to go? Not well, I suspect.
No, but just bizarre.
Yeah.
And again, ultimately here, it was interesting, whatever he's got going on there, that this new company,
which must be something,
couldn't get rid of it. But
nope.
Chris Lick has been horrendous. I mean, he took a bad network
and made it worse.
And it just has been sinking it. And I don't know, maybe they want to do that discovery so they can ultimately
close it. They said CNN was going to go back into hard news. I
no, obviously not.
No. I think this is just, we brought this up because it's a commentary on life. And, the duplicity of the left is, when you see it the most, is in situations like this. If some conservative said that about somebody, it would be
They'd be off Fox News.
off the air, off on Fox News or anywhere else. But no, here they give him a pass.